Hello and welcome to part 4 in our run through of Focus Pro. Let's begin straight away by having a look at the employee details for an individual employee. So we'll just right click on here, go to employee details, and the screen comes up. So under the contact tab we can see various parameters here, person's name, job title, payroll number. We can enter various contact details and this national insurance number. Clicking on group, we can select up to 5 different groups that the person may belong to. Clicking on rules, this is where we can select what working schedule this person belongs to, or if they happen to use the rota, we just simply select Users Rota. A weekly rule, this is where we select the weekly rule which we looked at during part 2 of our run through. Down here, if the person wishes to have the hourly rate put against them, which can be used for reporting purposes, we can enter this in here. These rate factors are simply multiplier rates, so rate 1, basic for example, is time 1, rate 2, time and a quarter, rate 3, time and a third. These references down here refer to exporting data into various payroll packages, such as Sage for example. These reflect the individual pay elements which exist in the various payroll packages. Clicking on holidays, we can see here we can add a default number of holiday days entitlement, and clicking on the holiday button allows us to adjust individual holiday years. So we can add an extra lieu day in there. We can subtract a day from here if we wish to for this particular year. We can set a maximum carry forward value if we wish to. Under the dates field we can simply enter some dates for reporting purposes, start date, leaving date, date of birth. Under the clock tab, if you're using HRX proximity terminals, we can enter a number of parameters here, such as the employee's badge or card number, what you'd like to be displayed on the first line of the display of the clocking terminal when they clock in. The fire alarm muster group, so we can say we can group people in order for reporting purposes when the fire alarm goes off. And if we wish to, we can assign people to access groups, which might control when somebody can access a door and which doors they can access, for example. If you happen to be using a biometric terminal, you won't have these parameters. Instead, there'll be a field up in the top right corner called PIN, and that will be the employee's PIN number that they would normally enter. Clicking on memos, we can use these fields here to enter some free text. So it can be anything. It could be a skill set that somebody might have. It could be a disciplinary. Anything that we want to just record against this employee and perhaps report upon later. And finally, the user field. Now in here we can actually define our own user defined fields. Let's click on system setup, and user fields. So we can create a new user field. Caught me out there. Let's go back to system setup and create a new user field. We'll call it test. We'll write a little legend that would like to be against the new field that we're putting in, and we can select various types of different user fields we can choose from here. So it could be a text field, a numeric field, a date field, a file which could link to a contract of employment, a picture file for example, or a list where we can add a number of parameters within the list that the user chooses from. So let's just select a text field and click on save. Let's go back to our employee and we can see the new field has appeared here. Okay, well, thank you very much indeed. Please move on to part 5, where we'll be looking at some of the absence reporting. Thank you.